What's up, graphic designers? In this video tutorial, you're going to learn how to use the blending modes to create a musical tribute featuring handwritten lyrics, lots of different blending modes featuring an artist of your choice, a portrait of yourself, along with the lab logo and New York City backdrop. So here's one example that I made today. Here's an example from 2013. So this is Kimberly's example, and we'll take a look at another example right here along with the cheat sheet so we can see that we've got the artists, we've got name and date, the logo. This student applied the overlay blending mode, and you're going to be applying the screen blending mode if you're copying and pasting your text on a dark background, ideally a blue background, and we'll start with the blank. All right, so once we start with that blank, we're going to need to find a backdrop, and you can take a look at all these different images I shared with you of New York City skylines. And we're going to need one ideally with a simple, solid backdrop. So this one, while it's very beautiful, it would be a little bit of a challenge because of all the different shades of gray and textures in that sky with the different clouds. So let's do this one. Why not? All right, here we've got a gleaming Manhattan backdrop. We're going to go to Photoshop. I'm going to click File, Open. We're going to download that image. Beautiful. And I'm going to press Command A, Command C to copy everything. I'm going to go to that blank. There we go. Command V to paste. And I'm going to press Command minus to zoom out a tad. Command T. And what are we going to do? All right. I'm going to go like this. There we go. So it's got plenty of real estate rather for the text themselves. And actually, let's pop in that text. So what you're going to want to do is take a photo of your lyrics, your handwritten lyrics. What's up, graphic designers? For this Photoshop project, you're going to need to write your lyrics on a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, ideally with a Sharpie or a dark marker. And then we're going to need to snap a photo. So when you're taking your photo of these lyrics, you do not want to have the camera angled directly at the window. Instead, what we're going to need is sunlight or some sort of illumination on the text itself. So again, we're going to need a lot of sunlight on our image. This is not ideal, but this all of a sudden is looking pretty good. And this is actually an example that I need to clean my windows. All right, so there we've got some really nice contrast. Ideally, you wrote with a Sharpie, maybe with a dark marker of some sort. I'm going to press Command L because we want to open out levels to make the lights super light. We're going to make the darks super dark. All right, that looks pretty cool right there. Beautiful. I'm going to press Command T to rotate it just a tad and then shrink it down just a little bit. Cool. All right, and so now what we're going to do is not change this to multiply to get rid of the white because there's not a whole lot of contrast. Instead, what I'm going to do is return to normal. I'm going to press Command I, and when you press Command I, that makes the whites black and the blacks white. And we're going to change this now not from multiply but to screen. Wow, that looks pretty cool right there. Beautiful. And so we're going to need to get a portrait, and I'm going to pull up, where is it? There's my PNG. I'm going to press Command A, Command C, and let's go to this poster. This looks pretty cool. I'm going to press, actually I'm going to press Command J just to duplicate and then hide that original image. I'm going to press Command Shift U, Command L to open up the levels just a tad. And then I'm going to press V, hold Shift, and do plus to cycle through the different blending modes. And I like overlay. Overlay looks pretty cool right there. Beautiful. And so now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get the artist or the author of these lyrics, who of course is Bob Marley. This is the image I used in the previous poster I created. I like this one right there. And this one is actually already desaturated, which works well. I'm going to press right click, copy, return to Photoshop, Command V, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. All right, and so you're going to think about where would be the best place to include this artist. I'm going to press Command Shift U, even though it's black and white already. I'm going to press V, hold Shift, and sort of cycle through the blending modes. And I kind of think that screen, you know what, in this case, I like lighter color. I think that looks awesome. And I'm going to include this. I'm going to include Mr. Bob Marley right here. And I think that looks really awesome. But I don't love the text on his face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to layer 2, which is that text layer. I'm going to use not the rectangular marquee. Instead, I'm just going to use the polygonal marquee. I'm going to create a selection around this text, as you can see that I'm doing right now. And so now I've got a selection around the text. I'm going to press V to use the move tool. And now we can shift the text anywhere we want. And I'm going to put it like right here. I'm going to press Command T, and I'm actually going to shrink down this selection of the text. That looks pretty awesome. That looks really awesome. Beautiful. Now I'm going to return to Bob Marley. I'm going to press Command D to deselect. I'm going to press E for the eraser. I'm going to right click. I can see the hardness is all the way down, and I like that. And so now what I'm going to do is just go a little bit like so, to let him pop out a little bit. Yeah, that looks great, man. That looks awesome. Beautiful. We're almost done. We're going to wrap this up. We're going to include the lab logo because why not? We're going to do a little bit of branding. So I'm going to make a copy, Command V to paste. I'm shrinking it down just a tad. And then you can think about like what would work well for you for this image. So I'm going to try a couple things. I'm going to press W for the magic wand, and I'm going to select the green. Now you notice that contiguous is unchecked, meaning that all the green is selected. Command D to deselect. And you know what? It's kind of hard to see that logo, so I'm going to press Command I, just like we did with the lyrics earlier. But now instead of making the black text white, I'm going to make the white text black. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but I'm going to try one more thing. Because now we deleted all that green, let's try something. Let's give this a little outer glow and see what happens. And I would very much encourage you guys to experiment as well. We'll zoom in so we can see this a little bit easier. All right, so it's cluttered right here, right? There's like a lot going on. So I'm going to click Effects. I'm going to click Outer Glow, Outer Glow, Outer Glow. All right, that looks pretty awesome. I'm going to reduce the size just a tad. I'm going to reduce the spread. I'm going to increase the opacity. I think that looks awesome. And I'm going to change this from white. So I'm going to try the yellow. That yellow. And actually it's not. Oh, it's because it's on a different layer. All right. So I'm just going to do like something that looks a little bit like this. I kind of think that's awesome. I like that right there. I'm going to press OK. You guys are going to write your name and date. You're going to save and submit this as a JPEG and a PSD. Cannot wait to see your work. Good luck.